Hey, how's it going, everyone? Justin again, as always. Thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. Cheers to those of you that have your beers. I hope you're enjoying your work week so far, and we are almost at the end of it. Thank God. Any rate, tonight's discussion is going to be 7 things that you can do to piss off your mechanic. Now, this goes for service writers, service managers, foremen, or anyone that's in charge. Maybe you're in teams and you have somebody that's basically in charge of you. These are 7 things that will either annoy or just flat out piss off the mechanic next to you. Now, I know this is not the only things that will piss off the mechanic next to you, but these are pretty crucial. So let's get right into it. Number 1, and these are not in any particular order, but number 1, giving him more work when he's already working on something. Nothing pisses off a mechanic more than when he's already elbow deep in a car and you have him stop working on that car to jump to something else. Now, I get it, the shop's got to make money. Maybe there's a quick oil change or something like that going on that he can bang out. Or maybe you just pull him off to put him on a different heavy line project because the other one's not expecting it till the end of the week and the other one wants it right now. So either way, it's frustrating for a mechanic, to say the least. Number 2, having no work when he's all done with everything. So this is another thing that's kind of irritating because oftentimes the mechanic pulls into the office, he gets talked to either by the shop foreman, the service manager, both, maybe the shop owner, and says, hey, man, you know, your hours are kind of lacking and we're not really sure why, what's going on, yada, 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 why can't you work faster, etc., etc. We've all heard the speech before. You've all been pulled into the office one time or another to be talked to about your hours. At one point. I'm not saying every single week, but at one point, they want to know, where's the productivity at? Half of the time, it comes down to the service writer, the shop foreman, or the service manager, where you get done doing a job. Maybe it's a cush job that takes, no time at all to do. You bang it out, and next thing you know, you're standing around waiting for it. Maybe they even have a dispatcher, and you're not allowed to go up and ask for work. You have to wait for it to be dispatched to you. I think this is a shitty way to distribute work, to be honest. To wait for a dispatcher to dispatch you work is an absolute shitty way to conduct business. Now, I'll say this. I learned this much from when I was at Sears Auto Center. I think the best way, now, I'm not saying it's the best. It's a pretty damn good way of distributing work, though. We used to put all the ROs in little sleeves and hang them on hooks. So when you were done, you would grab the next one in line. Now, you're supposed to grab the next one in line, not snuff out the gravy, take the gravy, and then leave the other shitty work to be done. It was supposed to be an integrity check at the door kind of thing, where you went up, you grabbed the RO that was next in line, and you began work. Whether it had to do with diagnostics, tire change, or oil change, you could figure it out from here. But that was a better way of distributing work. As soon as I had foremen and dispatchers in charge of me, as far as dispatching work, dude, they distribute the most dumbest shit sometimes. They make it to where you can make no hours, hardly any money, and it just makes it to where you go into the office a little bit more. So that's got to be my number 2 for sure. Like I said, no particular order, just things that are really frustrating that I wanted to rant about. Number 3, telling the mechanic how to do his job. Oh my God, did I have a handful of service writers in the past trying to tell me how to do my job. Nothing will upset a mechanic more than you coming out trying to tell him that you know more than he does because you saw some fucking video on YouTube explaining it all, and why doesn't he understand that? Some of these mechanics or technicians have gone to school for this stuff and have a different approach and have a different direction that they'd like to go in, or at least start before they start digging into something. I myself never start in the exact same form or fashion that somebody else will, but I have a starting point and I have a finish point and I get the answer. It might not be lickety split. Maybe sometimes it's so quick they couldn't believe it and their eyes roll. But needless to say, it's very annoying to the mechanic because they're the ones that invested all their time, money, energy, and everything else. Maybe they're at home surfing YouTube themselves. Maybe they're at home doing more research on Identifix or ALLDATA or something to try to figure out the solution to the problem that they have. Either way, 9 times out of 10, the mechanic's gonna know more than you do as a service writer or service manager. There's a handful of positions. Now, granted, some service managers, some service writers used to be mechanics, and they think that they know a thing or two, and half the time they try their best to diagnose things on the drive, which just piss the fucking mechanic off to no end. You're charging an hour, yet you're not giving him the hour. You're telling him what's wrong with it before you can even figure it out. You're telling him to replace a component, and next thing you know, he's fucking, what? You blame it on him. That's what I found out. So that would be the next one. So you blame it on the technician for a diagnostic troubleshooting that you did in the drive as a service writer or service manager. It didn't go your way, and your fallback excuse is that you want to blame it on the mechanic or tech that last looked at it or worked on it. Terrible, terrible solution to the problem, and then next thing you know, you get the mechanic or technician in trouble. I've seen this at the dealership level. It sucks when it happens, but it does happen more frequently than you know. These service writers will go out of their way to diagnose the problem in the drive, tell you what's wrong with it based on certain TSBs and recalls and things that they found on their computer, and when you fix it or you repair the part they want you to change out and it doesn't work out, then they blame you and they said, well, my mechanic must be wrong, we're gonna have to bring it in for more diag. Well, where'd the other hour go? Did it just fly away? Like, where the fuck did it go? So this is another way to piss off your mechanic. All right. Number 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna go to number 4 or 5. Asking if the vehicle's done yet. Oh my God, do I have a problem with this? While he's working on the car and wanting to know if he's done or he's close to being done. Now you can see that he's working on the car, but you want to know if it's done. This kind of leads to another thing, but it's going to tie into the same exact category where the customer's waiting and they come out and they say, just because it pays an hour doesn't mean it takes an hour. Get it the fuck done. Let's go. We have other appointments and things going on. Oh my God, if you want to piss a mechanic off and make him fly off the handle, that's the quickest way to do it. I swear to God, I had problems with so many service writers for coming out, asking me if I'm milking the job, asking me if I'm done yet, asking me when it's gonna be done because customer waiting. God damn, does that fucking irritate the shit out of me. All right, this is the last one. Adding to the ticket just as the ticket is being done. So you have a few things on there, maybe it's a recall, oil change, whatever. You get ready to pull it out, and as soon as you pull it out, they tell you, hey look, customer wants you to pull it back in and perform this service. Great, that's exactly what I wanted to hear because I already had something else lined up that the shop foreman gave me. Now I have to pinch that off to the side, pull this one in to do the work because customer waiting. That kind of falls back on our last one. So those are the 7 things that I find to be the most annoying. Now, like I said, there are a lot of things that will annoy and piss the shit off out of a mechanic, to say the least. But I'm trying to go by the list. Look, guys, I'm telling you, it's a rough business. If you guys haven't been in it for a while or you're just getting ready to get started in it, just know you got some wiggle room. They're not going to hassle you too much to begin with, but the longer you do it, the more they're going to push you, and they're going to try to push you not only to your limit, but beyond your limit, and they're going to make you feel like you're inept. So outside of the fact that you've been to all this training, you went to school, you whatever, you did your ASCs, etc., some way, shape, or fashion, they are going to find a way to diminish your capabilities and tell you that you're wrong, and this, that, and the other. It's going to make you question a lot of things that you think you know how to do or don't know how to do. You're going to continue to do more research, and eventually they're just going to structuralize you and say, well, this isn't his gig, I'm not going to give it to him anymore. And you'll just never, ever be allowed to do that, and that sucks because you get put in a niche all on your own. Not your fault, that's just the way that they look at it. They're like, well, he's fast at doing heavy line, he takes forever doing diagnostic troubleshooting, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, so fuck him with his diagnostic shit, put him on the heavy line, I'll diagnose from the front door. That's the way that it goes. And it super sucks for you guys that are trying to learn and trying to figure out more about both sides of the spectrum, because there are 2 sides to this spectrum as far as being an automotive mechanic or technician. You got the mechanical side and you got the diagnostic side. And if you know both, you're a freaking Superman, bro. If you don't, you're just one of the Avengers. That's the way that it is. At any rate, that's all I got for this video. Thanks as always for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give it a thumbs down. Share if you want to share. Share with me your experience. And share with me the things that piss you off as far as being a mechanic or technician. That's all I got for this video. We'll see you guys next time. Deuces.